Okay, today's video, we're gonna talk about niche websites and how they're more profitable to advertise on now for running display advertising in today's environment. So what I mean by the title of this particular video is, if you're running so-called, as people call them, banner ads or ads on different websites to get in front of people who are in market for whatever it is that you sell, because that's the main way that you run an ad, a banner ad that's successful, is you actually show up for people that have recently, searched for on Google how to hire a roofer, how to get the best price on a roof, how to get roofing financing. You'll have a banner ad show up for somebody that says, we have $89 a month roofing plans. If you need a roof, click here to apply. You got to have an offer, with a good offer that can get someone's interest, with somebody who ideally is already interested in some way about whatever it is you're selling. It doesn't have to be that, but that's the typical way you do it. Unless you're marketing something that applies to 1% or more of the population as a whole, then you can just blanket it everywhere. With that, and traditionally with Google Display Network campaigns, bot traffic is such a big problem nowadays that you actually have to narrow your ads down to specific websites that don't play these games of clicking their own ads to make money. Because obviously, if you have a website, even the big players like Forbes, they'll actually have bots click their own ads so they can steal money from advertisers. If you have a website, you can make money putting Google AdSense code on your site, and then that'll get ads to show up on your site from people that want to advertise on those websites through the Google Ads platform. With that said, most of the sites out there play this game. We'll say more than half. I don't know the exact percentage of people clicking through their own ads, and then a lot of times filling out the form to make it look like the traffic on their sites that's clicking through these ads work. And if you advertise on these sites that have the bot traffic going through them, it's almost impossible to make money, or very hard to make money. What we found as a workaround is to actually advertise on niche websites that we know don't play these games, and then it's very profitable. I'm going to be talking about exactly that on today's video, so you can understand how to actually make display campaigns successful if you were wondering how to make them successful. Of course, I've got other videos as well. It tells you how to go through and make the right offer on an ad that will really work. The $89 financing roof plan, $89 a month roofs is an example offer that we found that works great for the roofing industry. Or before planning your funeral, make sure you read this, don't get ripped off. The guide that gets people to download an ebook that you can then call these people and sell them a full funeral package. I've got content about that, and I'll point you to that by the end of the video as well. But with that said, stay to the end of the video. I will explain not only how to use these so-called niche websites to make money, to make sure your display ads will make money, but also where we made money before, how much we made, as far as case study. If you stay to the end of the video, I'll tell you about that case study as well. I'm Corey Zyman, owner of Guaranteed PPC, an online advertising agency that specializes in guaranteeing results for their clients and their ad campaigns. We do not charge our clients a management fee until we get them a certain minimum amount of results on their ads up front. That is more profitability on their ads than they had before, ideally to offset the management fees that we even charge before there's a management fee, or on a new campaign, if we agree to take a client on a new campaign. So that should tell you something about the quality of the information that you're about to receive on this video, that it's coming from a firm that offers guaranteed results. With that said, okay, so getting into the content, in today's world, if you plan on running display advertising, the sites you plan on running your ads on, if you're gonna pay per click, not pay per month to advertise on a website, it matters. Your campaign lives or dies on the fact that whether a bot's going to click through your ad and just drain your budget right away. Okay, so and it matters more than anything else due to how much these bots are clicking through ads. They're greedy. You can have 95% of your clicks plus on an ad on a site like Forbes clicking through your ad. It's all fake bot traffic, and they get away with it because Google basically turns a blind eye to it. Most people who advertise with banner ads don't even care if they get a return from it directly. They're just going for exposure. We're Oreo cookies. We just want 10 million people to see our ad this month, and that's it. And there's many sites playing these games, okay? So if you're on these sites, you basically can't make money. So where, you will make money, trying to generate roofing leads for a roofing company, a lot of times you will want to advertise on certain sites where these or to get it to work, you want to advertise on sites that don't have all this bot traffic. And that could certainly be a web page about how to hire a roofer. And with that, if you narrow down to those pages and you know the websites don't have the bot traffic, now you can make money versus the other way around. Direct buys are actually becoming a big thing in today's environment because of all this bot traffic that goes on the general web. When I say direct buys, I mean you, like the old days, the internet first started, to advertise on a certain website, you would buy an ad spot on that website directly, and you would pay, 30 days is $200. And you would run that ad for 30 days. You'd see, ideally how many people clicked through the ad and bought. And if it is profitable, then you'd run it for another 30 days and another and another. Magazine advertising was all predicated on the same thing. Website is just like a magazine, but in digital. However, people started to want to, the marketing pitch out there. So somebody started it and then it gained traction because it sounded good and people used it as a sales tool once, and then people started demanding it. That is pay-per-click advertising. You only have to pay if somebody clicks on your ad. So you would know if you ran an ad that it ain't just going to be sitting there looking pretty. There's actual traffic on the site that I know I'm going to get to my website by having my ad run there. And not only that, I know that I'm only going to have to pay for the proportional traffic that ad generates, which is a great idea on the surface, assuming these websites aren't juicing their own numbers by putting fake clicks to their ads, which is not hard to do at all in today's environment. Legitimately, it'd be great to pay per click if I'm going to pay for each real click versus paying for a whole month to run an ad on a site because I can get feedback quicker and there's some other benefits to it. But with all the bot shenanigans going on now, it's actually, in a lot of cases, better to just run and buy the ad directly from the website owner and not pay Google per click to run your ad on a certain website and have Google be the middleman. For one, Google doubles the price of their clicks, so the website owner only gets half the cost per click that you're paying as the advertiser. They're also playing this game where they're both taking you to the cleaners in terms of the bot clicks. And if you go to a website and you negotiate to run an ad on that website, it'll be like the old days where, if they accept it, that is, you pay this much and it'll run all month. And then you don't have to worry about bot traffic anymore. And if you know that website gets visitors, like loyal visitors, the best sites to advertise on now are niche websites that have repeat visitors. So if you are selling a cancer product to people that have cancer and you're advertising on a cancer blog that has information, tips, and tricks for cancer patients, and the best bet would be to reach out to that site directly and just run the ad there because you know that the bot traffic isn't going to make your campaign unsuccessful. Ideally, you would run your ad on that website through Google, and if it will work, you keep going through Google for a while until you go directly to the website and cut Google out. Chances are you're just going to get bot clicks clicking through your ad because that website plays those games. Websites are doing direct sales to the advertiser now. That is, they're not going through Google to sell their ad spots because they are able to charge more for the ad spots. If a website actually is selling ad spots manually, not going through Google, you indicator in and itself that they have good traffic, but it's a good sign. It's one of many factors that can typically shows that the traffic on that site is valuable. Otherwise, they wouldn't be selling the traffic directly to the people that want to advertise on those websites. Even though I've seen people do that and then there's still bot traffic on their website that they use to click on their own ads and stuff. People can make more money selling the ad spots directly. They're starting to sell directly to the advertiser, and it's not per click, of course, because that would be complicated. Or they could do it, but you're just paying for a spot to be there all month, basically. And that's coming back in a big way. The websites that want to make money can make more, and then the advertiser for sure knows that they're getting in front of real people at that point in time. So with that said, in any case, what I'm saying is if you are in a niche where, like the cancer product, if you need to sell to people who have cancer, the best place to advertise is a niche website, whether a blog or a forum or whatever about cancer that people frequent on a regular basis. That's going to be your best source of traffic. And then ideally to do a direct buy on those websites. Chances are that niche website like that isn't going to have the bot clicks because they don't need it. They have real visitors. They don't need to play that game, or at least not everybody plays that game, and so it's okay to advertise on that site. Versus a big mainstream site, they almost for sure are going to be clicking through the ads arbitrarily. And especially sites that don't look like have regular visitors are probably going to be playing those games as well. So if you have a niche website that has the customers you want, that's a really good place to advertise. And you could tell Google with your display campaign that you want to only advertise on that website. If you're in a niche, like you're selling, like fasteners that are only good for people in the solar industry, there's no niche website for people in the solar industry that buys fasteners, or even people that are in the solar industry to get tips on how to run their business. It's not a big enough niche per se, even though in that niche there are some. But assuming that there wasn't, there's no niche website or blog, forum, whatever that gets people to talk about whatever it is that they're experiencing that you can get in front of. And it doesn't have to be directly. Like, you could be selling something that's good for cancer patients and you get on the cancer blog, even though what you're selling is a financial product to give loans to cancer patients so they can get their cancer treatment, which we've done before, by the way. With that said, what you can do is you could target individual pages on the internet that are about your topic at hand. So what we like to do in the example, like the fasteners that, if we need to sell fasteners to people in the solar industry, we'll go to Google and type in like solar fasteners that for the solar industry, what fasteners work the best for the solar industry, and like that. And the pages that rank on Google will hand collect all the URLs and then go into our Google display campaign and target those exact web pages, because you can actually do that, okay? Then that doesn't guarantee that no bots are going to click through your ads, but at least the real clicks you get are going to be so highly converting, because it's the exact person you need to get in front of, that you can defy the extra bot clicks that are going to click through your ad and that extra waste that's in there. So in other words, the best way to advertise through running display ads anymore is niche communities where people gather for information in your niche or in a niche that your product or service is tied to somehow. Or you make a collection of web pages on the internet that goes to entertain and educate the people that you want to sell to, and you get your ads on those exact pages, not advertising to everybody on the Google Display Network, at least, that has recently searched for a roofing company on Google in the recent past using custom intent audiences, which is something you can do, because you're going to get on a bunch of websites that are going to drain your budget through the bot clicks. In that roofing example, by the way, we actually targeted people who have recently searched for a roofer, wanted to know how to hire a roofer, one of our competitors. Those are all audiences we targeted, but went on YouTube and through demand gen campaigns, which gets you on YouTube and Gmail, because those websites don't have bot clicks on it, or virtually no bot clicks, which is why we'll typically always advertise there before on the Google Display Network, okay? If you get those to work and you now want to, triple down on what you're already making, you can go Google Display Network. We'll typically try to go to individual web pages that already rank well on Google, that we know real traffic's going to those pages, and it's not just bot traffic on those pages, or a whole website that's dedicated to that niche, and then just run our ads there, because that's going to give us the highest chance of making things work, so to say. Then on top of it, you still got to do revenue tracking. The clicks you do get, the bot traffic that is there that's left, you're able to weed it out by the traffic that doesn't buy the rest of the bot traffic out of the traffic stream you're paying for that way. But you need to go drill down in what websites you're targeting up front. Otherwise, you'll never get enough sales to eventually use the sales revenue data to weed out the bot traffic, if that makes sense. If you're not sure how to do it, what you need to do in your niche space, and you are actually interested in running display ads like this for your business, which you should, your goal should always be to make search ads work, parlay that into display ads. In a niche business, you're more so going to be doing YouTube and demand gen versus Facebook, because Facebook's better for stuff that's more mass appeal, because the targeting isn't as specific. You can literally target somebody who is looking for a solar fastener on YouTube on demand gen campaigns with custom intent audiences, and on Google Display Network. But when you get to the Google Display Network, and just any website in general, that will generally not work. You need to drill down to certain websites, okay? At least when you're not talking about customer marketing, where you're marketing to a customer list, or to remarketing, where you've got it, you're marketing to people who've been to your site before, because that, generally speaking, will weed out most of the bot traffic, making it a mandate that somebody has had to have an interaction with your website before in order to see your banner ad. So, but if you don't know what to do, reach out to me at guaranteedppc.com. I'll tell you for sure on the display ads are going to work, how to make them work, and we can guarantee some of the results that you're going to get in terms of sales we don't work with just any client out there. If we know we can do well with your campaign, we'll tell you, and then how much you could be able to drive from that relationship in terms of sales, revenue, and profit thereof. GuaranteedPPC.com is where you can reach out to me. We also sell ad templates. If we've already done what you need to do in your market, we can sell you the literal ad copy, landing page copy, all of it that works for your niche market already to you to just translate directly into your ad accounts and get the same results we've gotten having optimized our ads for years in your space already to get to those results. We've got people that use these templates to start whole other businesses, even people that ultimately that that just wanted to diversify their income. They wanted to sell a product. They didn't really know how to do e-commerce. They sold a product that they can easily get from China that our client sells and sell it in a country that they're not in, able to get turnkey results because they had the ads that, which the hard part of selling a product is figuring out the ads that are going to sell it at a profitable rate. They had that from the start. We've got people that use our templates to start service companies. They'll run a plumbing campaign, answer the phone, say they'll send a guy out, call a plumber, literally just send the plumber out, say I want 10% of this for myself, and have a business because the template is already so efficient. Anyway, if you're interested in an opportunity like that, or at the very least reach out to us and see to find out if we've worked in your niche market and what results we've got before in your niche market so we can sell you the template. You can reach out to me at guaranteedppc.com as well for that. We've worked in, by the way, over 100 niche markets in the last 10 plus years of running this firm. So the chances are quite high. We've already done what you need to do in your market already. But for that matter, if you want a one-off question about what you're doing and try to making display ads work, you can always leave me a comment in the comment section. I get back to every single person who leaves me a question or comment on this channel, usually within 24 hours time. With that said, okay, now the main issue now with targeting individual web pages, so assuming you don't have a whole website domain that you can target where your customers congregate, and you have to go that second approach like I talked about earlier, where you going on Google, find all the web pages that rank well for all the people looking for information that directly ties to your product or service and what it fixes. That is, if you sell house paint, people are looking for how to buy the right house paint, getting all the individual pages that rank there on Google, then create a campaign targeting all those pages so your ads runs on those pages. It's not as easy as it used to be. Google doesn't like to show your ads for targeting individual pages like that in the placements menu. So this is a small side tip here to get the most out of that bang for your buck out of this strategy. You're going to bid really high. When I say high, bid like $10 a click, okay? So that you can get things going. The same kind of shenanigans go with even Google search campaigns. I start out with manual bidding on Google search campaigns all the time because I can't get impressions very easily at the start until the ads warm up. And if I can't get impressions, I double the bids. And if I can't get impressions still, I double the bids again. Well, the same thing applies to display campaigns if you're not getting impressions. You just keep doubling the bids until you get the impressions, and then you can kind of walk it back once you get some momentum going, once you start getting regular impressions. So to show the system that your ads can perform versus you don't get any traction at all because don't end up they just don't show your ads for whatever reason, which is most of that is they just already have ads to show on those web pages already, and you're kind of like, who cares about you? And if you still, after making your bid super, super high, you still just cannot get your ads to show on those pages, by the way, you can just go directly to those websites and say, hey, how much to advertise on this page? And they'll tell you on a monthly price to get an unlimited showing on that page. And if you literally, yes, this sounds insane to do, but if you literally found the 500 web pages that rank on the top of Google for every single person who's going to be looking for information on tips, how to buy house paint when you sell house paint, it's going to be worth it to do because we're getting 1,000, 2,000% ROI on those pages because it's so targeted. Virtually no waste, at least when you understand how to write an offer where you can say 25% off all house paint that we sell for St. Patrick's Day weekend. Click here to redeem your 20% off on high quality, 10-year warranty house paint, which is roughly what we did in that space, by the way. And that actually worked. That was a real case study. And so while it might be a lot of work to do that, and maybe only 50 of them will sell you the ad space, but it's still 50 ad spaces that are going to consistently bring you a trickle of customers forever. And the direct buy is just a lot more convenient than going through Google because Google can decide to show your ad, not show your ad, whatever. You're just locking down the most amount of people you can get from those ad spaces that I can guarantee for you will be profitable if you know how to make an offer that'll get their attention at a decent rate on those pages. You can't just say, we sell house paint. That ain't going to work. You're going to get like a point 0.05% click-through rate on your ad versus a 1% click-through rate if you know what they're doing to make a good offer that's really well targeted to the person that's going to be on that page reading. Whether you're offering a discount, whether you're offering before you paint your house, read this, do not get scammed. Which we love doing ads like that. And you literally can have a white ad with black text on it. If your offer is good enough, that's all you need. If you want to know, like I mentioned at the start of this video, the tips to really do the rest of everything you need with this display campaign to really make it rock, go to my channel homepage, search for display advertising. Go to on the channel homepage, you can find banner ads, the category for banner ads. You'll get everything you possibly need to, and with that, to make really good money running banner ads for your company that you can't find elsewhere. And then with that said, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, you absolutely should, because I promise you the information you're going to get on this channel is better than any other information you're going to get on the topic of actually making money with online advertising for your business, because it comes from somebody who has 20 years of advertising experience and spends 40 hours a week literally doing ad strategy at our firm for the dozens of clients that we have. So you can't get better information because it comes straight from the source. And frankly, you can't be effective with teaching anybody anything about ads truly unless you do have all that experience. The people that are educated on YouTube are just pulling the wool over your eyes. They don't really run any ads. They pretend they do, or they run a couple ads and they just want to sell ad space on those channels or whatnot, or they just want to sell you a course, and neither of those lead to your results basically. So you should subscribe if you're serious about making money with ads. You should also check out my blog while you're at it. My blog actually has even better information. Most people who like the channel like the blog even more. My blog is at guaranteedppc.com/blog if you want to check that out as well. With that all said, okay, to summarize this, what you need to do if you're going to run ads on the Google Display Network nowadays is pick individual websites to target, not just let Google show your ad on any website that it chooses, unless you're talking about remarketing or marketing to past customers through an email list or people that you've tagged that converted on your other ads already. At least to start, if it's profitable, go ahead and try to run your ads on any website. That's fine. You can get it to work, particularly get it to work if you set up revenue tracking so that you can weed out the stuff that doesn't convert into a sale appropriately. It's not like it's impossible to have your ads show up on any website as long as the person has recently been interested or in market for your product or service, because they indicated that by what they searched on Google recently. We have campaigns that are very successful that are along those lines as well. But my philosophy and your philosophy should be start with the stuff that's most likely to work, then work your way up the chain, versus I spent my money, it vaporized, and now I'm just stuck with nothing. That doesn't seem attractive until you've done that, and then you realize how easy it is for your money to just vaporize if you don't know what you're doing or just go a little bit too broad with what you're doing, especially with these bot clicks. Trust me on that. So anyway, with that said, if you want to know how much you can make advertising on these key websites, okay, we had a company, this is a literal case study, that does viaticals, which are life insurance policies that people in this industry will buy a life insurance policy from you if they think that you're going to die soon. So you can get cash out of your life insurance policy before you die. And basically they run some statistical models to find out your likelihood of dying, and therefore is it worth giving you the money. And they get the money from the policy once you die. Okay? We actually ran ads on cancer websites like I was talking about earlier. Because one of the things we found out was people that get these, the main customer is somebody who has like stage 3 cancer. That's like a slam dunk prospect to get in front of. Well, how do you get in front of more of them? Well, why don't we just run banner ads on those forums and blogs that they frequent, that they're repeat visitors of, just like I said here is like your best possible scenario to run a display campaign for yourself, mainly because there's very few bots on there. And legitimately, you already know that there's legit repeat loyal visitors to that website that you want to get in front of, like real. Because if somebody goes back to the site more than once and they're typing and all that, there's real visitors there, versus a website. It looks nice, but you don't really know how much real traffic's going to that site. It could look nice and there's like no legitimate organic traffic going to the site. So anyway, in that situation, on Google search, people typing in like viatical companies like that, we're paying $100, $150 a lead for a search ad. Running ads on this cancer boards, blogs, we're generating leads for $30 to $40 a pop. Okay, huge difference in cost per lead when you think, just by thinking outside the box and not just advertising on Google search where everybody else in the industry search that wants to advertise that are being closed-minded / lazy, if you want to call it that. Okay. Yes, the closing rate on the lead's not going to be quite the same, but surprisingly, it's not that much different. It's almost the same, and the ROI was better, getting those leads from the cancer forum. It's mainly, by the way, not as good because a lot of those people who responded to our ad didn't actually have a life insurance policy, because we would actually pitch, funding for cancer treatment people and for cancer patients. And that's how we approached it. It wasn't, if you have a life insurance, which overcomplicates things unnecessarily, because we know 1 in 3 people have a life insurance policy. So it's already good enough just to get somebody with cancer that has stage 3 cancer to reply to a form and getting them on the phone. Anyway, with that said, it actually worked out well. And similar to that, somebody who types in biomedical companies on Google, they're getting quotes for like 10 different companies. So even though we know they got a life insurance policy and we know they want to sell, you got to beat the price out of 10 other guys. For that reason, it's not as ideal as you think, which you got to Google search ads, while it's profitable, you should do it. Yes, it's great and everything. You're going to seem like a commodity by advertising on Google search. You're just one of many. Versus trying to figure out how to run a display campaign, you're literally the only person that they're going to be talking to. Well, not always, because obviously after they talk to you, they could be like, I wonder what else I could get. But way less of the time is it going to be, I'm contacting 10 other companies. Person going through Google, they're doing that more as a whole. We'll just say at least twice as much more than somebody who came through a display campaign is. So you can offset people that are not qualified coming through a display campaign by the fact that you have less competition in a lot of markets, or talking about valuing those leads versus search leads where people are already ready to, do business, if you will. Anyway, that's a really good example of how these display campaigns can work when you do target individual niche websites. And we've done this multiple times over. We had an auto parts company advertise on the niche website forums. That was like the best place, most profitable place we had to advertise, because these are the people that buy parts. You can advertise on Facebook and make money. Yes, that's great. That's not where they hang out. Why would you not want to advertise where they hang out? We sold paint specifically, as I mentioned, and we got on all the pages where people were looking for tips and how to paint their house. So obviously, if we're going to run a special for paint, we're going to run it on those pages. So anyway, with that said, I'm going to wrap it up with that. Thank you very much for watching as usual, and I'll see you in the next one.
Remember when I said display campaign was important during this video? Well, this video here tells you how to do it.